So Celestia is like the answer to the question of what is the most simple blockchain you could build. If you took a blockchain like Bitcoin and Ethereum and you strip it back to its core components, like what do you get? And it turns out, like if you strip a blockchain back to its core components, imagine you can create a version of Bitcoin that does not verify anything. You can create a version of Bitcoin, for example, where developers can just dump arbitrary data onto it. Like anything can go. That's the simplest blockchain you can create. So it turns out you don't need on-chain computation. You don't need to verify every transaction on the chain to have a simple blockchain that works. All you need is two components. The first component, which is referred to in the Bitcoin white paper, this idea of a timestamping server that timestamps messages and basically orders those messages. Like it tells you what came first. Tells you if this message came before that message. And that allows you to basically prevent double spending attacks. And the second component is this idea of data availability. Once you have ordering over those messages, you need to make sure that everyone knows what those messages actually are, and because they need to know what the messages are to even know what the state of the chain is. So if you have those two primitives, consensus and data availability, you can basically build anything on top. And the idea of Celestia was that we're only going to provide those two primitives. Developers can use Celestia to build their own chains on top of it. Instead of using Celestia as a smart contracts platform, developers will create their own chains on top of it in the form of rollups, like roll-up chains, basically.
So if we could think about it, modular blockchains are basically deconstructing the separate components of what makes a full blockchain, or what's often called a monolithic blockchain, a block like Ethereum,
Yeah,
Bitcoin. All of these are monolithic blockchains in which everything is within its own kind of stack or domain, if you can call it that. And
yeah,
modular blockchains is the idea that we can actually separate